All right, hello and welcome back to Craic, part 2, I guess, of our first episode. We're going to continue talking a little bit more about ourselves. Again, you can skip this episode if we're really not that interesting.
Most likely.
Yeah, no, exactly. Our episodes in the future will be more topical about other stuff that's going to hopefully be more fun to talk about.
Yeah.
So. But hopefully we got some fun stories to share with you right now. We want to talk about our first childhood memory.
Yeah, so that's where we're going to kind of start, and we'll just see where kind of we go from there. And we could talk about some of our stories together as well.
Yeah.
But what was your first childhood memory?
Boy, I do not have a lot of memories from my younger ages. I think my earliest childhood memory is actually from when I was probably about 7 years old. I think it was for one of my birthdays, of course.
About you.
Yeah, exactly. One of the most memorable moments of my entire life. My 7-year-old birthday. Just the best day ever. You wouldn't believe it. But yeah, we had a bunch of family and friends over, a bunch of the neighborhood kids over and stuff. And I remember us hanging out downstairs in the basement, and it was absolutely crazy down there. All the parents were upstairs outside and stuff. They were all just talking, doing whatever adults do, at that time. And so
Still don't know.
Yeah, they just left all the kids alone in the basement, and we just went wild. I remember we were just jumping all over the furniture down there and stuff. And I think we had a ping pong table down there that we were playing a lot of and stuff. And so that was definitely my first memory that I can think of. That was definitely a really good memory for me. How about you, Michael?
Yeah. So I actually have two. I don't know which one actually came first. I remember, actually I know which one came first. I actually kind of remember the first time I ever walked, which is kind of weird.
Wow.
I remember I was in...
When you're 8 years old,
right? Yeah, I was, going on 9. But yeah. I was in my bedroom at our old house, and I remember looking over across the room at my mom and my brother sitting on their knees, and my older brother was slapping his lap, trying to get me to come to him.
Oh, wow.
And I remember looking up, and we used to have this railing on our bunk bed so that my brother wouldn't fall out of the bed when he's sleeping. And I actually stood up and I grabbed it.
Oh, wow.
And I walked across the room, and then I kind of fell into my mom's lap or whatever. So that's the first thing I remember. Wow. But outside of that...
Hey, that's a proud moment, man.
Yeah, it was a big moment. So exactly. That was a good one. But I also remember the first time I rode a bike, which is...
that's a good one.
I think I was 4 years old. And wow. It was the first time my dad took the training wheels off of my bike, and he was trying to teach me how to go on the sidewalk. So he wasn't very good at kind of teaching me. So he's
not good at catching you.
No, he's not. He's okay, I'm just going to push you, and you're going to ride your bike. And I'm that's a good plan, solid plan, Dad. Let's do it. So he's, running with me down the sidewalk, and he pushes me. And all I remember is hitting a bump, and then my next door neighbors had this hill down their backyard, and I just started going down the hill. And I actually made it down the hill without getting hurt or anything. And when I got down there, I turned around.
You have brakes on the
No, you don't have brakes on bikes back then.
Brakes.
I think I just eventually
hit a car or something.
Yeah, ran out of speed or
That's
something.
That's how you stop.
But I remember turning around, my dad was running down the hill, and I was like, I won,
That's amazing.
So those are kind of the first two that I remember.
Wow, that's crazy, because, I must have been hit on the head too many times as a child or something.
Just dropped.
Before 7 years old, it's just nothing. Blank. Complete blank.
So
interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of what the first thing I remember about me. Why don't you say what first experience you remember about us?
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, one of the first experiences that I can remember of us like all hanging out and whatever was, I think, on Easter. It was one of the Easter days where we would always go to our grandma's house, right? And we'd do an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
And I think we're I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 at that point, from my memory. And what I remember most is actually your brother Andrew. He was always the best at these Easter egg hunts.
Yeah.
And he would find every single egg, and I would be left with like 2 out of like 100.
Yeah.
And Andrew would get them all, right?
Yeah, I actually recently, I have a video of us doing an Easter egg hunt. It was when we were really little, like 3 or something.
Yeah.
And there's a video of everybody was like going around looking for the eggs, and my dad was trying to like help me find the eggs because I wasn't very good at it, and I wouldn't find any. And then it like pans over to Sean, which is his brother, and Sean's going around taking Easter eggs out of other people's baskets.
Really?
So
how old were we?
We were really small, like,
oh my goodness,
just starting to walk, like very small.
Yeah, I don't even remember that.
So we had a lot of. I remember those at Grandma's.
Pre-7.
Yeah, we would always have like those Easter egg hunts, and Grandma would hide them all over the yard.
Yeah,
and then it would pretty much be Andrew,
all of them.
Being a little too quick for everybody else.
What were in those eggs? I think it was just like,
I think it was just a couple coins,
dimes,
and
nickels,
couple nickels,
and stuff.
No candy or anything really. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just change.
Maybe a jelly bean or something. So
I
think it was mostly change.
Yeah. So I mean, it was, I guess, exciting for us at the time to be able to get a couple nickels to get a gumball or something.
Did you ever do anything with those?
No, that's probably like we just gave it back to Grandma. Like, I don't want to carry this around. At least that's what I would do now.
Here, Mom, put this in your coin purse or something.
Yeah, I don't really like change. But
any other early memories you can think of us hanging out together?
I think there's a couple. I can't remember like where it was, but I remember a couple times of us playing on playgrounds together. I don't know exactly where they were, but
we used to play like lava. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that.
Yeah, so
basically you run around on the playground equipment, right?
I remember stuff like that, like us playing on playgrounds together, us like chasing each other around. But I can't really remember exactly where they were.
Well, there was always, we had playgrounds, near our house, and I think you had a couple near your house too. Yeah. Do you remember our playground near our house that had that giant slide? I was actually just thinking about this because I have a nephew who's 3 years old now, and we went to a playground with him just a couple of weeks ago, and it was the lamest thing ever. They have nothing because everything's got to be child-proof anymore. Right, everything's got to be child-proof and perfectly safe and everything. Yeah. When we were kids, we had that thing that you could spin around, the merry-go-round thing.
As fast as you can and like fly off.
Yeah, people would fly off and everything.
And like on those, they would have like metal slides too.
Yeah,
so you could like wax them and stuff, or sit on that wax paper, and then you'd like go shooting down.
We did that. We got the wax paper, and you just fly down that thing.
Yeah, and you're like so high up, like you could easily break an arm or something.
Oh, my sister did. Do you remember that? She actually broke her arm falling off of a slide. It wasn't that slide. It was a different slide. It was really high up, and she just fell off it. I don't know what happened, but kids being kids. She fell off, broke her arm.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happen. That happens every time.
Playgrounds were so much better back then.
Yeah. We should.
Now everything's got to be child-proof.
Yeah, even the one here that we have right next to our house they've changed a lot of the equipment, so it's like very like soft plastic and like foam and stuff, so nobody gets hurt. Yeah. But do you have any other stories, or should we?
I think another one of the highlights of our childhood is probably Ghosts in the Graveyard.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was like one of the best things
those were good
that
ones.
we always played. And just in case you don't know what that is, it's just a little game that we play around our house when we were kids, where you'd play at night, and so you could barely see anything, and one person would go hide, and then everybody else would walk around the house and try to find that person, and as soon as they find them, they yell "Ghost in the Graveyard." So that'll do it for our second segment now, actually, for our first episode.
So we'll probably have just one more segment or so. for now, and then we will kind of let you guys know what we're doing for the next week, and then we'll come back and finish that.
Maybe we'll get some guests on coming up. So
yeah,
but we'll go into that a little bit later.
Okay, all right. We will see you guys in the next segment.
See you guys in the next one.